Right arm over from the Finkel end, running away from us. That's cut by Lily. As Robertson bowls for the third time tonight, that's overpitched on off stump and it's hammered away through the covers for 4. Robinson in again, and this is driven back past him, and that's 4 more. He's pitched these up too far here.
Here's Rain in again. Bowls driven up. Well, it was Travaskis in again. Bowls and Lynn cuts, and he's going to get a boundary here, I think. One finer, one squarer, and Lynn goes for the swing down over deep backward square. Has it gone all the way?
I think his mum was from the Newcastle area. Balls again driven, and this could be out. Oh, that's a great catch from Liam Travaskis. 2 balls left of this over, and that's worth a shout. He's gone back into his crease, and now he could be run out. He is run out.
He's got some batting to do yet. Short, cut away by Willie, out towards extra cover. I think that's going to beat the fielder. It does. It splits the 2 of them.
Rain bowls, pulled high in the sky, and that is right on the boundary, and in fact, it's gone for 6.
In terms of economy, exceptionally good. His Turner in bowls to Gay down the pitch. He's hit straight, and I think he's got hold of enough of that. That's heading out towards the coach park.
So that is 13.1 overs. This is in the air from Willie, and he's going to be out. Delader's under it. He's chopped it out into the covers. Delader.
6 overs to go. Round the wicket comes Luke Robinson, and he's picked up by Safe Zabe for 6. So
Zabe's on 8. He looks to sweep, and he's bowled him round the legs, and the stumps are all over the place. Gay on 53, and this is a big one, but has it gone far enough?
No.
Travaskis is under it, and he's out.
Parnell in again. Short, helped on its way by McManus. That's, is it 4 or 6? All the way for 6 over deep backward square. Here's Parnell, bowls again. He's bowled him. He's not going to improve on that figure. Middle stump, knocked flat.
High on strike. Pulls that hard, and as the later can't get it, it's gone for 4, I think.
Interesting to see who he goes for. Here's Parnell in again. Picked up by AJ Ty. Is it going to be caught? No, it's just over the man. Round the wicket again. Bowls to Ty. He's bowled him.
3 balls to go, then here's the first of them. Slower ball out the back of the hand and cut away towards the point boundary. Clark dives in and he misses it. It's gone for 4. Sanderson comes in again and bowls. Clark steps back and gives himself some room and tracks that out through the covers and away.
Alex Lees, who clips that one away over mid-wicket. It's a long chase there for James Sales, and he doesn't make it.
Sanderson to Lees. Lees drives at this one. He's middled it. It's away out through mid-wicket and up to the pavilion steps for 4. Ball of the over. Clark is out. No, he's not. It's been missed. It's away through mid-wicket for 4. I thought that was just going to be a simple catch for the fielder in there.
And Taylor's in, bowling to him, and he picks that up away over backward square, and that's going to go all the way for 4. James Sales, quick as he is Taylor in again. Bowls to Lees, who's cracked that away over mid-wicket, all the way for 6. Running in again to bowl to Lees, who's driven it straight back over his head for 4. Freddie Heldrick warming up. He's just going to watch for the time being, as that's a short ball in again. Bowls short again, and with, well, an even more productive result for Durham this time. Here's Freddie Heldrick.
Oh, worth a shout. That's out. He stepped over the ball there. Driven by Clark, and that's 6. That's hit the fence just down below us.
Lumley end. In and bowls, and that's swung away by Graham Clark. And despite a little...
Oh, Jones was bowled. He's gone down the track.
Stumped,
is he? Heldrick. Oh, this is a top edge. This is the end of Clark. He's looked to sweep slog, and he's gone at 4.55.
Bowling he's done in the T20 this year until today. He's pulled that towards deep mid-wicket, and he's going to be caught, and he is caught. Contracts up.
Cobb around the wicket. Turner drives hard, and this might be problematic for Ty to cut off, and he can't get there. Second over with this delivery. Turner cuts. Oh, just beats Emilio Gay's grasping hand at backward point.
Running in again. Bowling to Baz de Leader, and that's looped to backward point, and he's caught by Chris Lee.
to take a while. Keeper standing up to the stumps. Second ball to Jones, played back past his international teammate and up to mid-off for 1. Brooke Guest is the Derbyshire keeper. He's done a few runs against Durham in the county championship. Next ball, left arm over to the left-handed Lees, played out through mid-wicket for 1 run. At the moment, the sun's just round the corner out the road, but on such a bright night, I think in an hour or so it's going to be blazing in through the window. Lots of people in the County Durham stand on my right-hand side, shielding their eyes with their hands. Virtually everybody either got a cap on or in sunglasses. This is played by Jones up to long off for 1 run. And that is fielded by Hyder Ali. Watt's now coming left arm over from the Finkel end. It's a quicker delivery to Lees. It's almost a medium pacer, that one. Keeper takes it as Lees looks to cut. Lees on 2, Jones on 2. Watt comes in again and bowls. It's a shortish delivery. Played up to mid-on. 1 run, and that is the end of the over. So 5 from it. Alex Lees, 30 years old now. Captain in Durham in this competition. This is his 65th game. 1,500 runs, 950s. His highest score was actually this year when he made 90 in Leeds. Got caught on the boundary trying to hit a 6. Previously, his best was 77 against Derbyshire in 2020. He's got 724 of his 1,500 runs for Durham, including 550s. And he's on strike now. Zach Chappell, the former Leicestershire and Notts bowler, is going to bowl the second over from the Lumley end. He's coming in right arm round to the left-handed Lees, who looks to smack that through the covers. Ends up off balance, leaning on his bat in the end, and played it fresh air. Zach Chappell left Leicestershire to try and improve his chances of playing for England by going to Notts, but it hasn't quite worked out that way. He's actually been on a loan spell at Gloucestershire last year. Comes in and bowls. This is pushed away by Lees up towards mid-off, and he stumbles into the crease at the far end, going for a quick single while there's a shy at the stumps at the keeper's end. From Hyder Ali, no contact with the stumps though. So a single completed, and Durham are 6 without loss. Chappell went to Stamford School, well known for its cricket. Born in the Lincolnshire area. He started his career with Leicestershire. He played for them for 3 years from 2015, then Notts for 3 years. Loaned out at Gloucestershire last year and then joined Derbyshire this year. He's coming in right arm over, and that's driven by Jones. It just pitches short of the cover area. And, probably there's a caught the fielder out there on the finger end. That might be Elias deploy. I mean, Madsen is at second slip. There isn't a first slip, and Watt is at third man on the discs. And Jones looks to hammer this over through mid-wicket, and it's come off the toe of the bat, I think, right down off the bottom of the bat. And He smashed it straight back past the bowler and away up the far end for 4 for the first boundary of the night. It's Lewis Rees who's at cover, who took that one off the finger end. McKiernan is a fine leg on the discs. As Chappell bowls again, and Jones gets a thick edge, and it flies through the air and spins its way down towards third man. And you could see the spin on the ball. You could see the way it was arcing through the air, that he hadn't hit that cleanly. And fortunately, fielder down there, I think Zaman Khan, didn't read the spin, and it shot past him as he dived down to try and stop it. Durham 12 without loss here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Martin Emerson with you on this Friday night of T20 action in Chesley Street. Chappell bowls, played nicely by Jones. He's picked that one up nicely, and that's away for 4. He's thumped that hard through deep mid-wicket. 4-4, so Durham 16 without loss after 2 overs. Durham lost at Derbyshire last year in the final game with Wayne Matheson making 100. As Derbyshire chased down 194 to pull off what was then their highest run chase. And it ended with Durham losing 10 of their 14 games in the T20 last year, which equalled their worst record from the 2017 season when they were relegated by the ECB and lost a number of key players. They lost 10 that year as well. In fact, Derbyshire have won the last 2. In 2021, they won a last ball thriller, which was their 200th game, chasing down 180 to win by 6 wickets. 3rd team that year in a row to arrive in Chesley Street in bottom spot and win. We'll see a change of bowling now. Matty McKiernan bowling some spin here from the Finkel end. That one swept round the corner, and he unfortunately boasts a very unwanted record against his name, because he holds the world record for the worst bowling in T20. None for 82 in the quarter-final against Somerset last year. Somerset winning it by 191 runs, having smashed the ball all over the park, and then bowled Derbyshire out for 74. I think Derbyshire had to travel all the way from there up to here for a county championship match after that. McKiernan in, and this is played out into the covers. No run there. Bowling leg spin. His best figures, let's talk about them. 3 for 9 against Nottinghamshire 2 years ago. And his best return this year, as this is slapped back over his head and away for 4 up to our commentary position by Jones. Right out the middle. It was a low arcing shot rather than a really high one, but it was always clear of the bowler. McKiernan this year has taken 3 for 39 against the Brummagem Bears. He's played minor counties cricket for Cumberland as well, or Cumbria as they call them now, between 2016 and 2018. Comes in and bowls again, and this is cut off towards backward point. No run there. Bowls again, it's driven back over his head once again for another 4 by Jones. Most years, Durham only play Derbyshire the once, either home or away. Very rare that they meet each other twice in the competition these days. This one is fired out towards the corner of the square on the offside. Dot ball. So 25 for none after 3 overs. 9 from that over. Sides have played each other 21 times so far. Durham have won 12 to Derbyshire's 9. 6 games lost to the weather, including what should have been a Derbyshire home game here in the COVID summer of 2020. We also lost the final group match of 2018. Until Derbyshire's 2 recent victories back-to-back, Durham had won 7 in a row. Bowler comes in, and this is George Scrimshaw now bowling, right arm from the Lumley end. Go back through that stat again. Durham had won 7 in a row against Derbyshire until they lost in Derby in 2017, but returned to winning ways in 2019 after the match here in 2018 was wiped out by the weather. Scrimshaw comes in, bowls. It's a short one, and it's cut by Jones out towards the covers. Stopped just inside the discs there. Run for him. 27 for none here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Scrimshaw again, pulled by Lees out through mid-wicket. Three and a half overs gone, 28 without loss. Jones on 21. Scrimshaw, right arm over, and Jones smashes that back over his head. 1 bounce 4 up to the far end of the ground. So far this season, Michael Jones has scored 170 from 138 balls. Highest score 43, averaging 24. You got the 43 at Leeds. Also had 43 against Lancashire. Oh, and he's stepped off towards square leg there to try and give himself a lot of room to open up through the offside, and he's chopped the ball down into the ground and then got tangled in between his legs and eventually sort of bounced out short on the leg side. He was called through for a single by Lees. Lees waits as Scrimshaw prepares to come in. Scrimshaw's got 12 wickets in 2023 so far in this. And that's a false shot from Alex Lees. He looked to pull that hard through the leg side there, going for the pull shot, and he's clothed it straight back over the bowler, who couldn't believe that it just gently passing by his head. It was out of reach of him, but landed not far behind him. 4 overs gone then, 34 for non-Durham, having been put in here by Derbyshire. .34 for none. And now coming in to bowl. Switching round ends is Chappell bowling to Lees. The ball played out towards deep mid-wicket for 1 run. .35 for none. Chappell starts his run up, coming in from about 30 yards, bowls, and Jones makes a nice bit of space for himself and steers the ball down towards third man. Watt dives on it on the discs and deflects it across to his right, where it's picked up by a colleague and thrown back in. 1 run to Jones. Alistair says it's quite breezy in the Durham stand. Here comes the bowler, and this is defended, a dot ball by Lees. .36 for none. Halfway through the 5th over here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Chappell round the wicket. Bowls, and that's pulled away down towards long leg by Lees for 1. He moves on to 10. If you want to email, it's weircricket@yahoo.co.uk, or you can tweet @MartyCricket. Flying solo this evening. Live on the BBC around the world, and on the club YouTube channel as well, as Chappell bowls once more, and Jones looks to pull through the leg side, and it's whacked him in the thigh pad. He must have got an inside edge onto that one, because no leg bye has been signalled. I think it's Richard Kettleborough officiating at this end of the ground with his back to us. Neil Pratt at square leg. Chappell coming round the wicket to finish off his 2nd over. And a thick edge from Alex Lees along the floor, wide of the man at third man on the discs and down to the far corner of the ground for 4. 8 runs from the over. So Durham now 42 without loss after 5 overs. Both matches these two should have played against each other in 2010 were wiped out by the weather. Lost games here in 2011 and 2018 as well. June the 25th, 2007, I set off for that one with Martin Spate down to Derby, and massive storms were forecast. We set off in brilliant sunshine, knowing there was probably no chance of a match likely to take place. And we got as far as around about Ferry Bridge services when my colleague Charles from Radio Derby rang to say, just had your horses, wait there. So we pulled into Ferry Bridge, and everybody in there was covered from head to toe in mud. And they were all on trip buses making their way back from one of the muddiest, soggiest Glastonburys there'd been. Simon Khan coming in here now to bowl. Right arm over from the Lumley end, 2 runs. Anyway, we then got the phone call to say the heavens had opened in Derby. And the Durham team were at the ground, so they had to try and get home. But the M1 flooded at Nottingham. And it flooded in other places as well. Khan in. That's a very strange action he's got there. That's very square-armed as he bowls that one. I was watching him warm up earlier. Anyway, I think that was the night when a reservoir above Rotherham started to break up, and they're worried it might explode and flood all the valley below, and the motorways were closed. So Durham got home about 5 in the morning. Khan bowls. That's pulled out a deep mid-wicket. It's a low catch. Taken way out in the deep. That is the end of Jones for 30. Trying to see who it is who took the catch. on with his very square action. Gets a wicket. Jones gone for 30. Durham are a wicket down with 44 on the board. Brydon Course has come in at number 3. He's playing as a batsman, I think, rather than a bowler because of that recent side injury. 571 runs, 34 wickets in T20. Hasn't played in any of the competition this year because he injured his side in the county championship win against Yorkshire. The catch was taken by Matty McKiernan out of deep mid-wicket. Khan bowls, and that goes in really low towards leg stump. Attempted Yorker. He only just got a little bit of bat on that there. Khan played it onto his front foot, but set off for a single, not really knowing where the ball was, and he was told to get back. On in again. That's hit out high towards McKiernan at deep mid-wicket. 1 run for Carse. So a 1-knee sweep shot there. Beautiful, beautiful evening. Those in the pavilion are in the shade, but the County Durham stand, the 2 tiers, are bathed in sunshine, as is the East stand. Khan in. This is a really peculiar action. He looks like as he comes to bowl, he also looks like he's tripping himself up each time. Anyway, he's got a wicket from his first over, and the final ball went for a single. He's gone for 4, but taken a wicket. Power play finished. Durham 46 for 1. Watts back into the attack now with a bit of spin. He opened the bowling. He's back on at the Finkel end where he started. Our end of the ground, left arm over. And a reverse sweep by Lees puts the ball off towards the point boundary for 1 run. Next ball's round the wicket and played by Carse out through the covers for 1 run. I was trying to work out what Durham's batting order would look like given Graham Clark's missing this one through illness. Whether or not they'd elevate Ollie Robinson up to 3, but they've put Carse in there instead, so I presume Robinson will be next. Then Ashton Turner and Bastaleda. Sleaze plays the ball to long on. Fielded by List deploy. The Derbyshire skipper Watt has a long off and a long on, and deploy's called into action for this one. I'm not sure he's going to be able to cut this off. He's done well. The boundary rope just angling round in front of the pavilion steps, and it looked like the angle was too tight for him to get across and cut the ball off, but he managed to get there, kept it away from being a 4. Durham reached 50 for 1 after 6.4 overs. Watt in again, he bowls, and a little ramp shot from Lees. That's gone down for 4. I don't really think he knew anything about where that had gone there. He looked initially as if he was going to try and paddle it round the corner and then suddenly flicked it up in the air. I was laughing because it was quite sneaky and there's nobody down behind the keeper, so it's run all the way for 4. He looks to cut hard at this one out towards the point boundary for one. .57 for one then after 7 overs here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Coming up to 5 to 7, so there'll be an update in Radio Newcastle news in the 7 o'clock news as McKinnon's back into the attack here from the Lumley end. First balls played by Lees out through mid-wicket for one. At the Ashes, England declared on 393 for 8. Very bold move. Ben Stokes only got the 1 run though. This is driven downfield by Bryden Cast, a wide long off for 2. Australia 14 without loss at the close. So runs coming today for England. 61 from Zach Crawley, the opener. Joe Root 118. Johnny Bairstow 78. Now, that's the end of Alex Lees. He's been run out. Bryden Cast has smashed the ball from McKinnon back to the bowler, and he steered it onto the stumps at the bowler's end as Lees was out of his crease. He was backing up and he's run out for 23. So, a very unfortunate way to get out. Durham have now lost both openers, and they don't have big runs on the board. Lee Robinson is the new man who's been in fine form in both the T20 and the County Championship this season. He got 3 half-centuries in a week in the first week of the T20. Made 102 the other day against Glamorgan in the County Championship. Durham are 60 for 2 after 7.3 overs. Next ball is played away by Bryden Cast out through the covers to the boundary for 1 run. Two balls left of this 8th over. Durham are 61 for 2 here on BBC Radio Newcastle. McKinnon bowls. He's got an interesting action as he bowls. He looks like he's falling forwards. Rolls his wrist around the ball and comes out the back of the hand. Fairly stiff-armed delivery style. 1 ball left of his over. Again, he looks like he's tripping himself up as he delivers. This is played by Cast out to the cover boundary for 1. So 8 overs gone, 63 for 2. Durham 63 for 2 after 8 overs against Derbyshire. 12 overs to go then. George Scrimshaw's back in, and I thought I heard a noise in my headphones there that suggested Cast looking to pull that ball. had clipped it to the keeper. Grimshaw's first over went 4-9. It's a tall right-hander. He bowls again, and that's a massive hit from Bryden Carse. And that's probably hit the window in the scorer's room about 3 doors along the corridor from me. He absolutely skied that right out the middle of the bat. Big hit. Would have gone into the back lane if it hadn't been for the media centres here. In fact, has it gone out the ground? Did he clear the building? I think he's cleared the building. It's gone beyond the end of the building and into the car park to the side of us. That's a massive hit. They're going to have to get another ball. David McCall, great commentary as ever, but is there an issue with the effects mic? Can't hear now from the action or the crowd. I don't know. It's I can hear everything very clearly through my headphones. I have a microphone outside. I don't know if it's been turned down or there's a problem. They're in another room, and I don't know how they do things along there. Could Alex Lees do a Ben Stokes and declare after 19 overs, asks Eric the Stanmore Mackin. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so. Scrimshaw to Carse again, and it's a Yorker length ball. It's played up to the point boundary for 1. $70 for 2. Scrimshaw comes in, bowls. It's a short one. Robinson pulls it out towards cow corner. It's going to bounce safely. Fielder out there is Harry Kane. 1 run. Two balls left of this 9th over. Oh, that's a high delivery there, down the leg side. Oh, and now Carse has fallen over, trying to come back for a second, so he'll have to stay where he is. He looked to try and flick it away. It's come off his thigh pad, so a leg bye has been signalled. Scrimshaw in again. Robinson looks to turn through the leg side, but it's actually gone off in the opposite direction. It's a leg bye. Nine overs gone then. 73 for 2. Watt back into the attack, left arm round from the Lumley end. This is cut by Robinson off towards the point boundary. Fielded by Harry Kane with his back to the east stand. Update coming for Radio Newcastle now. Oof. Well, I'm just watching the ball heading towards you, Miles. That is a massive 6 from Bryden Carse, which has cleared the car park. He's just done it a few moments ago from the other end as well. So a big shot from him. He moves on to 22. Durham 80 for 2 here. They lost Michael Jones, caught at mid-wicket off the bowling of Zamin Khan for 30. And then Alex Lee's run out. He was just stepping out of his crease when Carse blasted the ball from Matty McKeon back towards the bowler, and he deflected it onto the stump. So he was run out for 23. Durham was 60 for 2 then. They are 80 for 2 now. Pass, cutting a ball down towards third man, came racing round, stops the ball just in front of the ropes. Durham get 3 from that, so they've had 10 from 3 balls in this over already. What balls again? Robinson cuts. It's gone towards backward point on the discs. Next ball comes in, and that's played down towards Kame again, but he's not going to get across to it. That's a lovely late cut there from Ollie Robinson, and it goes for 4 just towards the end of the County Durham stand on my right-hand side. Wiggy on the music's playing some canny tunes tonight. Start off with a bit of Jamiroquai earlier on. Watt comes round the wicket, bowls. Robinson drags this down into the ground, and it's gone between his legs and down to fine leg on the discs for 1. That's the end of the over. So Watt's got 1 over left. He's taken none for 31 so far. Durham are 88 for 2. After 10. Reminder that Derbyshire won the toss and decided to have a bowl. Scrimshaw to bowl his 3rd over. None for 17 so far. He's coming in right arm over from the Finkel end. Oh, and he's demolished. Robinson's off stump. Robinson went back into his crease looking to play across the line, and he's out for 8. Durham 88 for 3. 28 added there. And Robinson playing around the ball. His off stump ended up a good few yards from the other two. Ashton Turner is Durham's new batsman. He got 60 last week at Leicester in the defeat at Leicester. And that's his highest score for Durham. And it wasn't to be enough, 60 not out. And the night before that, at Nottingham, he got a second ball up and a duck. Now he and Cars are quick between the stumps, so we could see some 2s and 3s here. Scrimshaw coming in to bowl. It's a short one. Turner looks to cut it. It's a wide. It's too far away from him. The umpire facing the scorers and signalling Richard Kettleborough, former Yorkshireman. $89.43. This over, big W, little w. So big W for wicket, little w for wide. Scrimshaw again to Turner. Turner plays the ball to backward point. There's a man there. No run there. I think that might be Lewis Rees down there. Turner's faced 1 legitimate ball. You have to get off the mark. Scrimshaw in past the umpire and bowls. And he's going to drop this short on the leg side, go for a quick single as Hyder Ali comes in to field it. Next ball played nicely by Cars. He's put that away. wide of third man on the discs and down to third man proper for 4. It was actually a nice little push rather than a cut. Just helping it on its way via the on its way down to third man. So 94 for 3 then. Cast is on 29. Scrimshaw bowls. Cast plays it back past him. Scrimshaw trips himself up and is now lying on his back on the track 1 run. The ball runs up to latest deploy at mid-off. Last ball, Scrimshaw's third over. 1 for 24 so far. 95 for 3 Durham here. Comes in and bowls. And Cars helps it down to third man again. There is a fielder in there in Watt now. That's the end of the over. So 11 gone. 96 for 3. The man Khan coming in to bowl his second over. He got a wicket with his third ball of his first when he got Jones caught on the boundary. Right arm round rather than over. He is 21 years old. T20 debut for Pakistan this year. His best bowling figures in T20 of his 70 wickets, 4 for 16 for Lahore Qalandars against Karachi Kings last year. Now, last year, Matty Potts of Durham was with Lahore Qalandars. This is played by Turner, short on the leg side. And look at the running between him and Kars. As I was suggesting earlier on, the ball hasn't even reached the discs. It's gone about 1, 2, 3, 4 strips across. On the leg side, it was just dropped nicely into no man's land there by Ashton Turner. And him and Bryden Kars really opened their legs there, sprinting to get 2 runs in. And it was the keeper, Brooke Guest, who eventually ran up the field the ball. Really good work from those two there. Khan to Turner. Turner plays the ball down to third man. What is there? He'll field it. And the left arm throw from the Scotsman. I think he was at Tynemouth around about 2018 and then went back 2 years later. Played in the North East Premier League's representative 11 as well. He's originally from Edinburgh. Gone in, short one, pulled away by Kars out towards deep mid-wicket. He moves on to 31 in the single. And that's the 100 up for Durham. 100 for 3 after 11.4 overs. Kars has missed about a month, I would say, through the side strain. We told it was going to be at least 8 weeks, but he has recovered far quicker than anybody thought he would. Ashton Turner's been bowled. Leg stump has gone to Khan. Khan just doing him for pace there. Turner's out for 3. 100 for 4. Durham not racking up the runs here. The top order hasn't fired. This is one of those days where if the top order doesn't get you the runs on the board, he made 5, actually, not 3. For 4 then. 11.5 overs. 12 runs added for that partnership. That's Deleda, got a half century last week against Notts. He is the new batsman. Durham need an injection of runs here. Already feeling, after 11 overs, that they've not got enough on the board so far. Deleda made 21 not out at Leicester last Friday, and the night before, 58 at Nottingham. Bowled really well in the week in the county championship. Glamorgan's second innings, he took 2 wickets with his first 2 balls. Ended up taking 4 in the end for career best stats in that drawn game of 4 for 76 in 18 overs. Khan bowls, and the leader forward tries to drive the ball, and he's played it off his front pad. It's the end of the over, so Khan has taken 2 for 8 at 2 overs, so he's having a nice time tonight. 12 overs gone, 100 for 4. McKiernan to start his third over. The ball played by Cast out through the covers for 1 off the spinner. Leg spin. Cast's highest score is 51 against Yorkshire a couple of years ago. Bump ball there from Deleda back to the bowler. He's on a 35 against Lancashire and a 31 against Nottinghamshire. Next ball is played by Deleda out through deep mid-wicket. 1 run. And that's bumped hard. And it's gone for 6. There's a fielder on the ropes in Leas deploy. He couldn't get any higher or any further back than what he was. He managed to get a hand on it, but he's just deflected it towards the seats to our left. So 6 more runs for Bryden Cars. It was a low on that one. It's 19 balls. He's on 38. Durham 108 for 4. He goes after the bowler again and drives hard and low out to deploy for 1 run. Kiernan bowls. From the Wigan area of Lancashire originally, but played minor counties for Cumbria. 1 run there, out through deep mid-wicket. That's the end of his over. Rattled through that one fairly quickly. So he's bowled 3 overs, none for 25. Durham are 110 for 4 after 13. So bowling figures so far then. Watt, none for 31 from 3. Chappell, none for 19 from 2. Scrimshaw, 1 for 25 from 3. And Khan, 2 for 8 from 2. I think this is Watts to finish. It is. So he's going to bowl his 4 overs and be done. Left arm round. And played by Deleda out towards the cover boundary. 1 run. Get him fielding out there with his back to the east stand. Watt left arm round Lumley end. Again, it's the same shot, this time from Cars. Came fields once more, another run. Next ball is in the air. Oh, an attempted diving catch off Deleda, way down at the far end of the ground. I don't think it quite carried. It's Deploy that long off. He dived in, but the ball, I think, pitched just as he got there. Now, this is a massive hit from Bryden Cars, and that bounces into the car park, and somebody's just been missed by the ball, walking from a car, and it's bounced between him and the car. He's really middling these when he gets hold of them. He's on 46 from 22 balls. Ball is still in the car park. Cars are set back a couple of rows. I think the guy who had just missed is on his way to the gym. He's got a sports bag over his shoulder. He would have got a rude awakening there. Has the ball not been found? I don't think it has. Oh, Stewart returning it now. It's probably scuffed a bit after hitting the car park at the rate of knots that it did. He's cleared the boundary rope there by about 30 yards. Boundary's about 70 metres deep, I would say. 65, 70 metres. Watt in again. And the ball played this time by Cars up to long off for one to Deploy. He moves on to 47. So he's had the 1/2 century to now. That was against Yorkshire. Watt in. Slightly quicker ball to Deleda. Played out towards Kame on the cover boundary. 1 run. He's on that quickly. That's the end of Watt then. None for 43 because he missed the throw. So he's given away an extra off his own bowling there. A buzzer. So none for 43 from him. Only used so far 5 bowlers. 22 for 4. George Scrimshaw coming in to finish his spell. Bryden Cars is on strike. Began the night with 571 runs from 60 T20s. Now 151 against Yorkshire in, I think it was last year actually. Scrimshaw bowling to him on 47. It's a bouncer. It's gone through to the keeper. He looked to try and hook it, but ended up having to duck out the road of it in the end. But I'm looking here for their 120th half century in T20. And Cars' second. The later at the non-strikers end on 6, Durham 122 for 4 in the 15th over here on BBC Radio Newcastle. That's wide. And Cars couldn't get anywhere near that, so he gave up on trying, but it was a very wide delivery. Scrimshaw in again. Oh, Cars clips it over the top of backward point and down towards the third man boundary. He's going to run 2. He moves on to 49. Wasn't actually far off being caught out there. Hyder Ali here at long on, but Leas Deploy is back right in the middle of the action, chatting to one of his fielders. He has been fielding it long off, but he's now inside the discs at the moment. Kame is out at deep mid-wicket. There's a man down at fine leg on the boundary as well. Scrimshaw bowls to Cast. This is turned away nicely out towards mid-wicket. And the 1 run brings up his 50 in 26 balls. And it includes a 4 sixes. More than Bryden Cast. Durham could do with a bit more, though, still. The run rate at the moment, 8.7. 126 for 4. Scrimshaw balls. Cast drops this short on the leg side. And goes for 1. The wide signalled. No. Dead ball signalled. Looked like I thought, what's the umpire signalling there? He gave the impression he was signalling a wide and the ball hadn't left the bowler's hand, but he was putting his arms out to then cross them back over each other to signal dead ball. Scrimshaw in. Oh, big thick edge from Cast, and it races over the top of third man and away for 4. It's probably taking some of the timber off the corner of the bat there. $131 for 4. After 14.5 overs. Scrimshaw's last ball coming up. It's gone down the leg side, so it's not his last ball. It's a wide, so he'll have to bowl another one. One for 35 he's taken so far in 3.5 overs. Durham 132 for 4. Here he comes again. And a little lob shot out towards deep mid-wicket there from Cast for 2. Nice running. Scrimshaw looks worn out here. He goes off. He's finished his 4 overs, 1 for 37. That shot from Cast there was just like a little chip onto the green. So 15 gone, 5 to go here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Durham 134 for 4. Run rate is 8.9. Can they get it up towards 10? Remember last year, they got one of their highest totals against Derbyshire. 193 for 5, and Derbyshire knocked them off and won. Was until this season their highest run chase in a T20. Beat it this year though at Edgbaston. Khan back into the attack, and that's a wide, is it? Yes. Delayed looking to try and cut the ball, but it was miles from him, and he ended up stretching so far he had to lean on his bat to keep his balance and stop himself falling over. On in, pulled out towards deep mid-wicket by Deleda. There's a man out there. I think McKeon, 1 run. It bounces a few yards in front of him. The sun is just starting to make an appearance now. It's just more or less above the window frame here, but I think it's going to start dipping in a moment or two. It's right behind the top of the floodlight pylon, so it looks like one floodlight's blazing away and the rest aren't. Khan in to to Carr, sorry, who thumps the ball upfield, past the bowler towards the boundary at the far end and will run two. Throw coming in from the deep from Hyder Ali. Apologises to the bowler because it wasn't the best of throws in terms of accuracy. On bowls, this is going to be out, and that is the end of Cast for 58, caught by, I think McKeenan might be what? I think it's McKeenan. It's McKeenan. Deep mid wicket. He's out for 58. Durham 138 for 5. So 38 for the 5th wicket. 15.2 overs gone. Zaman Khan's taken 3 wickets now. Look beneath, he's the new bowler. Well, Jones and Cast picking out Matty McKeenan on the mid-wicket boundary off the bowling of Zaman Khan. Khan now has 3 for 12. So his best figure's 4 for 16. He could break that today, and that was in the Pakistan Super League last year. He's also got another over and a half to go. Luke Denethi's the new man. And Denethi drives the first ball, or cuts the first ball from Khan out through the covers for 1. Not really seen anything of Denethi in the T20 this year. 1 innings, 2 runs. I don't think he's bowled. It's meant to be an all-rounder. Khan in, pulled by Deleda, out to deep mid-wicket for 2. Ooh, Denethi pauses before he sets off. The keeper tries to run him out with his back to the stumps and flicks the ball underarm, but misses the target. Denethi was a little bit slow and coming back for the second one there. It was Deleda in the end who found himself in a spot of bother and just that little bit of hesitation on whether to set off for the second or not. Deleda's on 10. Khan in from the Lumley end. That's a leading edge. You look to play that through leg side there, and it's looped out way off towards deep backward point, virtually round towards third man. 2 runs. So Khan now on 3 for 17 from 3 overs. Durham 143 for 5. And 16 overs have gone. New over from McKeenan, finishing off. Single here to Denethi down towards long on. Marsa's career best, 58. McKiernan with his leg spin from the Finkel end. Ball driven up to deploy at long off, just down to my left. McKiernan again. This is turned away round behind square. Leg for 1. By Deneathy, he's on 3. Delader's on 13. Durham 146 for 5 against Derbyshire. Put in they were earlier. And that's a bit of a strange delivery there from McKiernan. I don't know if that was accidental or he was deliberately trying to bang one in short and quicker, but it was just played straight back past him and away for 4. Three balls left. This is driven past him as well, and Hyder Ali collected it long on, just down below our commentary position for 1. Bowler once more. And, Deneathy almost turned that into a Yorker. He's played it out through mid-wicket and goes for a single, but is then sent back as he turns, looking for a second. McKiernan has finished, so 4 overs from him. He's taken no wickets. The scoreboard's now got pictures of people on it rather than the score as such. McKiernan none for 34. Durham 152 for 5 after 17 overs. Cut-off time for this innings is at 7:48, so there's 10 minutes to go. 3 overs to bowl. Zach Chappell back from the Lumley end, right arm over, and that is high and into the crowd, just in front of the TV screen between the pavilion and the health club. From Deneathy, moves him on to 10. And it's silhouetted beautifully against the sky. Is a mixture of very pale blue and haze. And he cleared the boundary by about 10 yards or so. Chappell in again, and he tries the same shot again, but he hasn't got a hold of it as well this time. He bounces a few yards in front of McKiernan for 1 run. He's checking the bottom of his bat there, which is a sign of where it came, round about the toe. Chappell having a conversation with his skipper about tactics. Got 4 balls left of this over, and Delader plays the ball out through deep mid-wicket. McKiernan again coming into field, and the ball comes back the bowler's end. Deneathy and Delader nearly collided with each other there. Deneathy had to take a long detour round to his left, but he's fine, he's back. So 9 from this over so far. Chappell will have another over left after this, so he'll bowl at the death. You would presume anyway. 161 for 5, Durham. Chappell bowls, and Delader's going to be out. He's towed it up into the air, and it pops out into the offside, and a fairly simple catch in the end there for Wayne Madsen. So Delader departs 420, Durham 161 for 6. Only 3 added for the wicket. Paul Coghlan is the new batsman. Again, quick between the stumps. It's a little bit of cloud coming, a little bit of hazy cloud, which is just obscuring the sun at the moment. 17.4 overs gone. Chappell into Coghlan, who plays and misses at that one. Chappell comes in and bowls. And that's high in the air. And this is going to be out as well. Coglan's going to get a second ball duck. And is caught at mid-off. So an inauspicious return for him from injury. Durham now losing wickets regularly here. With not enough runs on the board. It's 161 for 7. Loy with a catch. Green Parnell, the new man. Two overs to go here, and there's a serious risk that Durham haven't got anywhere near enough runs, and they've got to bat out the full overs. 7 down, 18 gone, 161 for 7. Aman Khan to bowl his final over, this time from the Finkel end. He tries to York Denisi. Denisi digs it out, plays it up to Hyder Ali at mid on for 1. Had 30 from Michael Jones at the top of the order. Alex Lees made 23. Brighton and Carter career best 58 and Baz the leader 20. But just 8 from Robinson, 5 from Turner and none from Coghlan. Derbyshire looking to make it 3 wins in a row against Durham. They're only playing each other once again this year. Fixture switches between Derby and Durham each year. Durham have to go to Lancashire for 2:30 on Sunday afternoon. I'll be bringing you commentary of that one on BBC Radio Newcastle. And then they're here against Warwickshire on Tuesday night. I remember who else they've got next week, because the back end of next week, the County Championship returns again. So, oh yes, how could I forget the Yorkies? The Yorkshire players will be here on the Friday the 23rd, as will members of Durham's 1973 Gillette Cup winning team who beat Yorkshire at Harrogate. Famous scout back in the day. Khan in. Slower ball to Parnell, and he plays it downfield for 1. So after that game against Yorkshire next Friday, Durham then travel to Leicester on the Saturday, because they start a county championship match on the Sunday. That will finish on the Wednesday. And then on the Friday, they play Worcestershire away in the T20, and then on the Sunday, they finish the group section away at Birmingham. This is very high, but I think it's gone too high, and it hasn't got much in the way of length, and that is out. Denethy goes for 12, caught by Hyder Ali, coming in off the long on boundary, and Durham are at risk here of being bowled out and not seeing out their 20 overs, which is a cardinal sin. They're 163 for 8, and now losing wickets very cheaply. Denethy gone for 12. Liam Travaskis in now. And Nathan Souter is number 11. Khan's taken 4 for 19. Not quite his best figures, but not far off his 4 for 16 last year in the Pakistan Super League. So he's taken 15 wickets now this year in the T20 for Derbyshire. And he's looking for a career best, if he can get a 5 for here. He was in a bowl to Travaskis, the left-hander. Travaskis plays it up to Deploy at, well, he's short mid-off, inside the discs, throw at the stumps, just missed the target with Travaskis diving in to try and save his bacon. Best bowling in head-to-heads between these two. Paul Collingwood took 5 for 14 for Durham here in 2008. John Hastings 4 for 26 in Chester Street in 2014. Nayan Doshi took a hat-trick in the dark for Derbyshire in a victory here in 2010. Khan bowls, and he's got a 5-fer, or has he not? No. I thought for a minute that had come off the bat of Parnell, who seemed to turn his back on the shot. I thought it was a Corton bowl, but it wasn't. It must have come off his pad, and then Khan tried to run in and run him out. Nayan Doshi got Will Smith, Albie Morgan, and Phil Mustard. Finished with 3 for 11. Last year, Matty McKiernan took 3 for 29. So these are the best figures by the Derbyshire player against Durham. 4 for 21 at the moment. And that is how he finishes, 4 for 21. One over to go. Durham 165 for 8. $165 for 8 seems fairly average to me. Zach Chappell bowling to Parnell, who turns and ball thuds into his back. Parnell's given up the ghost, thinking he was going to be run out. Chappell's missed the target from about 10 yards, with Parnell just having stopped. Didn't even bother trying to get into his crease, and the ball went flying past the target. So he survives. Next ball from Chappell is thumped by Liam Travaskis, high over, long off. It's gone way out into the corner of the stand on the eastern side of the ground, the northeast corner of the ground. Durham could do with a couple more of those. 172 for 8 now. Apple's coming round the wicket. 4 balls left. Travascus looks to pull down the leg side. They're appealing for a catch, and he's been given out, caught down the leg side. He's gone for 7. There are 3 balls left. Durham are 9 down. So Durham are currently 172 for 9. Last 3 partnerships, none, 2 and 9. Not been good enough this for Durham. Nathan South is the last man in. And there are 3 balls to go. Durham are going to have to be bowling really well here to defend this, I would say. Especially if Wayne Madsen's in the mood tonight. 4 half-centuries and a century in the competition this year. Chappell has taken 3 for 36. 3 balls left of this Durham innings. Sauter throws the bat at that one and thumps it away over the covers for 4. 2 balls left. 176 for 9. Two balls to go. Sauter on 4. Chappell bowls. Sauter flops it into the air. I'm not really sure what part of his bat that came off there. He's just sort of flicked it away towards square leg. There was nobody there. He gets 2. So the last ball to come. Run rate is 9. Chappell in again. Finishes spell, and that's in the air, and that should be the end of Sauter. He's caught at mid-off, and Durham are all out on the last ball. 178. Sauter goes for 6. I think Lace Deploy probably took the catch. Zach Chappell finishes with 4 wickets. Now that's his career best as well. He's finished with 4 for 41. Durham 178. All out on the last ball. Parnell not out in 3. Well, I'm not sure that's enough. We will see, of course. The light roller being applied. The ground staff just brushing the track here. Lots of dust coming up. They were trying to, they had the sprinklers on the other day at the close of play each night against Glamorgan, and it's bone dry out there, really. Right, I'll be back with you then in a few minutes. Durham 178. The run rate was 8.9. So target 179. That will be 9 and over, I think. I'll be back in a few minutes. I've got to do an update in about 5 or 6 minutes on Radio Newcastle, but Back with you for the Derbyshire reply. Here we go. Here we go for the second innings. And Durham are going to have to bowl really well here and field well to make this one work for them. Liam Travaskis bowling for Durham. Keepers standing up to the stumps. Lewis Rees and Harry Kane opening the batting for Derbyshire. The target 179. Update now. Yes, Durham were all out on the final ball of their 20 overs for 178 at a run rate of 8.9. A career best at 58 for Bryden Carse on his return from injury. But the next best in the innings was Michael Jones with 30. Too many wickets falling too regularly. Best figures in his career for Zach Chappell of 4 for 41, and the 4 wickets for 21 runs that Zaman Khan took were the best figures by a Derbyshire player in a head-to-head. So Durham are going to have to keep it tight here with the ball and with their fielding if they're to defend 178. We're in the first over of Derbyshire's reply. They're 4 without loss after 1 ball. And that 1 ball was a wide down the leg side, so that went for 2, and then the first legitimate ball has gone for 1. Travaskis bowling to Harry Kane. Kane, the former Hampshire player, has got a higher score of 56 against Lancashire 2 years ago and a 40 against Leicestershire. Made his T20 debut for Hampshire against Surrey in 2019. He's played for Dorset in the minor counties as well. And the first ball he played and missed. The second ball is played upfield to long off for 1. So 5 without loss. It's a sunny night. I've got the sunglasses on indoors and the baseball cap on, and the sun is blazing through the windows now. It's a very pleasant evening indeed. Beer garden territory, I would say, as Rees clips this one away out through mid-wicket for 1 run. He's played in the IPL for Chittagong. Came forward to this one, a little forward defensive push there, which heads upfield to Paul Coghlan at long off for 1 run. In comes... Oh, this could be... Oh, I thought for a second that might come off the bat. Lewis Rees looking to push that one off towards the leg side. It looped into the air. The keeper went racing across towards square leg to try and get the ball. It bounced just in front of him. In the meantime, Travaskis was appealing for an LBW, which wasn't given. Derbyshire are 7 without loss. After the first over, Durham were 5. Paul Coghlan is going to bowl then, so that's good news, because he suffered a side strain at Bristol 3 weeks ago, just before the county championship took a little break for the T20. His first balls are wide, though. I think he was up playing for the seconds in Scotland in the week at T20, and then the one day of the following day. Liam Travaskis was. A number of these Derbyshire players were playing for their second team yesterday in finals day at Wormsley, and Derbyshire won the second team competition, beating Glamorgan in the final. This ball is wide of off stump and playing a miss there from Kame. So Elias Deploy was in that one yesterday, which is strange given he's the first team skipper. Anush Dahl played in that and one or two others. Kame was involved in that one as well. Coghlan too came, and Kame looks to uppercut a wider short ball and misses it. Looks at the umpire as if to say, are you going to signal a wide? But no, nothing from the umpire. The scores tonight, Leicestershire 195 for 5 against Yorkshire in Leeds. Yorkshire 14 without loss in the second over. Coghlan bowls, and it's another wideish ball, and again the umpire keeps his arms down, so Kame's just not moving his feet to these deliveries. He's wafting. Kent 228 for 3 at Lords against Middlesex, who are 36 for 2 after 4. Brummagem 196 for 5 in Worcester. Worcestershire 142 for 6. That's in the 17th over. They start earlier there because they didn't have the lights. Short one. Keeper's at full stretch. It bounces off his fingertips. And they run. Does that come off the bat? It has. Nearly had a tremendous catch to his name there. Ollie Robinson did well to get across to it at all. Worcestershire 148 for 6. Look like they're going to lose that one because they're in the 18th over now. Chasing 197 to win. Sussex 156 for 5 at Hove against Hampshire, who are yet to score. Sussex 17 overs in. In comes Coghlan, played by Lewis Rees to backward point. And no run. And this has actually not been a bad over. He started with the wide, but since then he's only conceded 1 run and nearly had a caught behind off that run. Glamorgan, who were here the other day, then travelled down to Chelmsford yesterday. They're 162 for 5 in the 18th over there against Essex. At Taunton, Surrey 195 for 9. That's gone down the leg side. And just as I'm applauding his efforts, he's gone and strayed, and that's a wide to Rees. So the over will actually be an 8-ball over. So Surrey 195 for 9. Somerset have just started their reply. They're in the first over, 6 without loss. In this group, in Northampton, Lancashire made 204 for 7. Northants 10 for none. There are your scores so far today. Rees on strike on 2. Coghlan bowls. He goes back into his crease, plays it to point. Throw at the stumps from side on from Turner. And from Jones. Didn't quite hit the target though. And at the end of the over, 11 on the board after 2 overs. Durham was 16 at this point in time. Lewis Rees has got 15 half centuries. This is his 90th T20. His highest score this year, 57 against the Bears. He got 53 against Nottinghamshire. His highest career score, 97 not out for Derbyshire against Lancashire in 2017. He had made 66 against Durham in 2017. Previously with Lancashire from 2013 to 2016, and then joined Derbyshire the following year. Comes from Chorley, which is near Bolton. Parnell into the attack, left arm over from the Lumley end. The first ball to Rees is a play and a miss. League table. And Notts at the top on 12 points from 6 wins, 3 defeats from 9. They've played more than anybody else. Warwickshire next on 10 with 5 wins and 3. Then Yorkshire had 10. Worcestershire had 8. Durham 8. Lancashire 8. This is played by Rees out towards deep square leg for 1 off Parnell. And then Derbyshire 2 points adrift of the teams on 8. And then you've got Northants on 6 as well, and Leicestershire played 8, won 2, lost 6. The 2 wins, a double against Durham. The hubbub of conversation outside here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Parnell comes in and bowls. Played by Came to the cover area. Picked up by Michael Jones. As a reminder, if you missed the news earlier, no Graham Clark today. He's been poorly this week. Ben Rain's been given a rest. So Paul Coghlan and Bryden Carse returned from injury. And Luke Deneathy brought back into the team as well this evening. Parnell bowls. That's up in the air and it's safe. It's thumped over the top of mid-on by Kane. And it's gone for 4 up towards the Health Club. Alex Lees was at mid-on, but he was on the discs, and that was way beyond him. Parnell comes in and bowls. And that's a big 6. That's hooked into the back row of the pavilion seats. In fact, it's gone in, I think it's gone into the little pathway behind them, maybe. No, it's been recovered from the back row. Too short there from Parnell, and Kame saw that all the way. Big 6 over square leg, and there's a man on the boundary rope there in Nathan Souter, but that sailed way over his head. 22 for none. Kame has 13, 157 more to win. Parnell again, and that's a little bit better on length, but Kame cuts it away, past point and away for 4 more. 11 off this over. No, it's not. It's 15 off this over. Three overs gone, 26 for none. So Derbyshire are back ahead by 1 run. Master Lader is going to bowl here. I think this might be one of those nights where the spinners and the slows are needed, but you haven't got Ben Rain to bowl these skiddy medium paces and take the pace off the ball. Travaskis and Souter going to have their work to do here tonight to try and put the brakes on this, you'd think. Souter's the leading wicket taker in the country at the moment in the T20. "17 dismissals. The latest first ball was a dot. Through to the keeper. Here's the next delivery from the Finkel end. Rees comes down the track and thumps it over the covers and away for 4. It's retrieved by one of the ground staff, who springs up from his deck chair just in front of the old scoreboard on the right-hand side. If he'd missed it, it would have possibly gone off down the alleyway between the east stand and the scoreboard. Equally, there are 3 security guards there, so between them, maybe one of them might have been able to stop it. The Lader in again to Rees. Pulled out through mid-wicket this time. Fielder out there. Run. Coghlan fielding out in the deep on that leg side with his back to the pavilion. Apparently England are playing football tonight and they're leading somebody 2-0 in an orangey looking stadium. The leader to Kame. Kame drives hard at that one. That's 4 more, straight out through the covers and away. Well, this is looking at the moment like both games against Leicestershire this year, because Leicestershire went after Durham with the bat here. Had 50 on the board in 4.3 overs. And at the moment, Derbyshire are 35 for none after 3.4. The leader's gone for 9 in 4 balls so far. Kame's on 21. It's a short one. Kame pulls it, and there's a man down at long leg. It's Souter. He dives in, he stops it, but it bounces away from him, so he's going to have to chase it along the boundary rope. He does so. 2 runs. Nobody seems to me, at the moment, to be bowling at the stumps. 37 for none. 142 more to win. England are playing Malta. Euro 2024 qualifier. Deleda was on his way in there and then something put him off and he changed his mind. He's returned to his marker. So he's bowling from just inside the discs. Came, pulls at a short one. Good diving stop down the leg side. It's signalled as a wide. Deleda can't believe it because he thinks the batsman was very close to connecting with that one. The umpire, Richard Kettleborough, says otherwise. Last ball of the over then. Deleda in short and he whacks. Came mid-riff. Stops him in his tracks. Ball comes to rest right next to the crease. 4 gone. 38 for none. So Derbyshire back ahead by 4 runs. England are now winning 3-0. Coglan to bowl his second over. His first over was bookmarked by wides. First ball on this one is defended and goes off towards Turner at point, no run there. So he did well in his first over. Just the 4 runs from it, and 2 of those were from wides. The first ball and what should have been the last ball. Last year here, Derbyshire were playing in their 200th T20. They chased down 180. So Coglan bowls and Rees looking to pull through the leg side as being hit around about the thigh pad. They won by 6 wickets off the final delivery. 3rd team in a row to arrive in Chester Street in bottom spot and then pick up a win here. Durham went into it having lost 4 of their previous 5. I think they ended up losing the last 5 in all last year, Durham. Coglan in. Rees looks to play through the leg side. It whacks him in the pad. Runs down towards fine leg on the discs. A leg bye is signalled. So Durham made 176 for 9 last year. Sean Dixon top scored with 37. He was out off the final ball. There were also 33 runs from Scott Borthwick and 32 from Ben Rain. But Durham slowed too much in their final overs and left themselves short. Tom Wood hit 32, Leas deployed 47. They put on 68 for Derbyshire's 3rd wicket. With them gone 116 for 4, as this one's pulled out towards deep mid-wicket by Kane for 1. They were 116 for 4 after 14 overs. Matt Critchley and Brooke Guest put together a stand of 64 to see them home. Critchley made 33 and Guest 34. Helped by some expensive bowling from a certain Mr. Potts. He took none for 50 in 4 overs. His final 2 overs costing 31 runs. It was here 2 years ago. Short ball from Coglan, pulled away by Rees, who runs a single, but looks like he's hobbling a little bit there. I think he's hurt his foot slightly. So that was 2 years ago here, and then last year. In fact, Durham lost the last 5 in 2021, and they lost the last 5 last year as well. Coglan to Kane, it's a short one. He hooks it high, and that's going to be 6 more into the pavilion. Saw it early, got on it nicely. And the way he sent his bat after that, it was like he was launching a fly rod into the river. Looking for a juicy salmon in the reeds. He moves on to 30. 47 for none. They're now 5 ahead of where Durham were after 5 overs. Last year, Scott Borthwick opened the batting with Michael Jones in the absence of the injured Graham Clark, so Clark misses a game against Derbyshire for the 2nd year in a row. Opening stand, 67 runs. Jones went on to make 42. Ollie Robinson scored 43. Parnell back into the attack now from the Finkel end. Left arm over. Ball turned round the corner to square leg. Short square leg. Coghlan with a throw at the stumps. At the keeper's end, 1 run to Rees. Ollie Robinson got 43 in that game. Total was 193 for 5. Their joint highest score against Derbyshire, but they couldn't defend it. Matthew McKeon had taken 3 for 29. Wayne Madsen then made his first century in T20. He scored 100 not out, and they won by 5 wickets with 5 balls to spare. Derbyshire's highest run chase at the time. Parnell round the wicket. Kane flicks one down towards fine leg. Travaskis dives. He can't get there. It's away for 4 more. The Derbyshire innings featured 38 from debutant Hilton Cartwright, 31 from skipper Shan Masood. 50 runs comes up in 5.2 overs. Durham's 50 for 6.4. They were 50 for 1 at that point. Parnell in, slower ball, and a catch, a good diving catch from Souter. Clever delivery from Parnell, took the pace off the ball, and Kane has driven it straight out to the diving Souter in the covers, and he departs for 34, 52 for 1. But Parnell getting the wicket. And 5.3 overs, I think, that wicket came in. Indeed it did. 52 for 1. Parnell has taken his 9th wicket there. New batsman is Wayne Madsen, who has been in fine form this season, the leading run maker in the country with 431 runs, 450s in a century. Al Durham would like to see him off early. 127 needed when the wicket fell. Parnell to Madsen. Madsen drives. Souter stops it in the covers. Parnell left arm round to Madsen. Madsen plays that a short extra cover. Stopped by Danithi. Next ball, and Madsen can't get that away either. That's a very good finish to an over. It started with a single and a 4, then he got a wicket, and then 3 dot balls after that. 6 overs gone, 52 for 1. Durham were 46 for 1. Commentary of this T20 match with me, Martin Emerson, on BBC Radio Newcastle. Reaction to this in the morning in the news breakfast shows on BBC Radio Newcastle, BBC Radio Tees. Travaskis back in. Rolling his second over. Ball is played back to him by Lewis Rees. Run rate's 8.4, required rate's 9.2, so just slipped a little bit since the wicket. Travaskis in again. This is launched high into the air, and it's 6. Jones is down at long off. He went racing around the boundary there as if he was going to catch that, and then stopped on the line, put his arms out and watched the ball sail over his head and into the front of the northwest terrace. Next ball from Travaskis is swept out towards deep square leg. 2 fielders out there, they were nearly collided with each other. The lady got it as Coughlin had to leap over his shoulder and get out the road. The extras columns, by the way. There were 6 extras from a Durham point of view. 2 leg byes and 4 runs from wides. Oh, now this is pushed away by Madsen for 1 up to long off, and already in this innings, inside 6.4 overs, there's been 6 extras. 7, sorry. 1 leg by and 6 runs from wides. Played away to deep mid-wicket for 1. Travaskis left arm round, bowling to Madsen, who gets a thick inside edge there, and it's gone behind him. Square to backward square leg, inside edge. 7 overs gone then. 62 for 1. So there's still 5 ahead. They've been 5 ahead of Durham now for 3 overs at the end of each over. So 7 gone. 117 needed. Nathan Souter coming in to bowl, the country's leading bowler, with 17 dismissals. Last week he was the tightest with economy as well, before the Leicestershire game. It's going along to something like 5.5 and over. First ball is bowled and is played by Madsen, out to short extra cover. Lees is in there, no run. Souter jogs in and bowls again. A reverse sweep, which is high in the air, and that's 6. That's a really nice shot, that, from Madsen. Picked it up early. A lot of power in those wrists there as he swung the bat there down on one knee, and he's launched it over deep backward square leg. Well, he's turned it deep point into deep backward square leg. Gone for 6. Lovely shot. He's on 8. How will Souter respond? He comes in and bowls. Madsen flicks this off through mid-wicket and will get a single. Rees takes his guard. Left-hander is on 19. 69 for 1. Souter in again, bowls, Rees cuts. It's gone to backward point, no run there. Souter's on 98 wickets in T20. And his best figures this year came this year, 5 for 15 at Northants in the opening round of matches. Durham winning comfortably on the night by 10 wickets. Single this time from Rees, played up towards long on. This brings Madsen on strike, the right-hander, facing the right arm spinner. Madsen chops that down into the ground. A big lot of dust comes up into the air as a ball pitches on a used track next to where they're playing, and it finds its way out towards deep extra cover. Jones is fielding there. And that's the end of Sauter's over. So his first over has gone for 10 runs. 72 for 1. 9 ahead now. 107 more needed for Derbyshire to make it 3 wins in a row against Durham. Ashton Turner is going to come on and bowl. Spin at both ends now. Leg spin from Sauter. Turner now right arm round to Rees. First ball's played back to him. He's bowling off spin, the captain of the Perth Scorchers, winning the blast, the Big Bash the last 2 years. Second ball's played back to him. Run rate's 8.6. The required rate is 9.2. Turn around the wicket from the Lumley end. Cut by Rees off towards the deep point boundary for 1 run. He's taken only the 1 wicket so far this year, Ashton Turner. He's moving. Deep point to deep backward point, more or less a wide third man. Third man is on the discs in Parnell. And the ball has gone off towards where the leader has just been and been moved from. He slides in along the boundary. Oh, now then. He nearly collided with a sponge there. Had to let go of the ball and right himself. He did stand on the sponge, but I think he'd let go of the ball when he did, realising he was very tight to the line. 3 off the delivery, though. That brings Rees on to strike on 21. Madsen moves on to 14. Turner in. And Rees plays this up to deep mid-wicket for 1. Lovely evening. The sun just dipping. There's a bit of cloud in the sky as well, so it's not as bright as it was, but it's a really beautiful night. The floodlights are on. Madsen turns this to long leg. Sauter fields 1 run. So that's the end of Turner's first over. And it's gone for 6 runs. 78 for 1. So the lead is now back to 5 runs. It was 9 at the end of the last over. 101 to win now. 9 overs gone. Sauter to bowl to Madsen, who's on 15. Madsen drives back towards the bowler. He dives to his left. He can't stop the ball. I think he might have got a hand on it, though. Certainly stopped it racing away for 4. Rees is on 22. 100 needed from this point for Derbyshire. Sauter bowls. Rees drives over his head. Down the ground it goes. 1 bounce 4. Hits the advertising hoardings. Just down to my left-hand side. Just to the right of the Durham dugout, where the Durham coach Ryan Campbell's sitting in his Durham bucket hat. He's got it turned inside out this week. They're reversible, so on one side it's dark blue with a Durham badge. This is an edge down towards third man on the discs. Good stop there by Parnell. 1 run. On the other side, it's bright yellow with the Durham badges all over it. The sort of tiger, the lion, sorry, badge. The D. And they've run out of them in the club shop. Been a big seller. This is played by Madsen out through the covers towards the pavilion for 2. It's the year of the bucket hat. Sauter again. That's a sweep, and it's gone towards long leg. 1 run. For Madsen, he moves on to 19. Decent partnership this from these 233 runs on it now. 92 needed to win. 1 ball left of the 10th over. Souter to Rees. And that's a single up to Travaskis at long on. So that's 10 overs gone then. And Derbyshire, halfway through their overs, are 88 for 1. They need another 91 to win. And the scores are suddenly level. Although Durham had lost 2 wickets when they'd reached 88, Derbyshire have lost 1, so it's neck and neck again. Tight overs needed from the spinners. Take the pace out the ball. Just the 1 boundary from that over. Travaskis coming back on. He's got 52 wickets in T20. This is his 3rd over, none for 17 so far. Ball played out through deep mid-wicket. The leader dives in. Oh, and he steered it behind Coghlan. And between them, they've failed to stop the ball. And it's gone for 4 through deep mid-wicket. Coghlan was coming across from the far end of the ground. The leader was running from this near end. They were both going towards the ball. The leader dived in, got a hand on it, but steered it out of Coghlan's path and around him for 4. This is a sweep. Coghlan is out there. Will he get it? Oh, he's put it down. A hard diving chance. He got his hands on it, though. He was at full stretch, but as he hit the floor, it fell out of his hands. The life for Rees on 32. Comes down the track again and pulls this one down towards long leg. The leader's in there, cuts it off. They'll get 2. He stops it and spins along the floor. His hat comes off as he stops the ball. 2 runs though. Now this is high in the air, over. Oh, no, is he going to keep it in? He hasn't. I was going to say it was going to go over square leg. The leader managed to stop the ball on the line, and as he was running off the field, he threw it in the air. Threw it in the air, but as he was trying to jump back onto the field, it bounced off his shoulder. My throat's just gone. Next ball played away through deep mid-wicket for 1. 100 up for Derbyshire. After 10.4 overs. Last ball of the over coming up from Travaskis. Left arm round from the Lumley end. Played by Madsen upfield to long off for 1. So 11 overs gone. 104 for 1, 75 needed. And they're now 8 ahead of where Durham were. But Durham, by that point, had lost 3 wickets and continued to lose wickets regularly. Bowled out on the final delivery of the innings. 478. Coghlan back into the attack. First ball in, and it's out. Easy catch, played straight to Alex Lees in the covers. Madsen's gone for 20. Not get more of a fairly straightforward wicket than that one. Madsen just with a little drive straight out into the covers. Short extra cover, straight into the hands of Lees. Paul Coghlan getting his first wicket of the night. 75 needed from here. And Derbyshire are 104. So both partnerships so far have been worth 52. That one from 34 balls. 11.1 overs gone. $75 more to beat Durham. New batsman is Leas Deploy, the skipper. First ball to him. He's off towards backward point. No run there. Deploy's, I think his best score this year, 66 not out against Warwickshire. He's off the mark with a single to deep point there. Joined Derbyshire in 2019. He's got 14 50s. His highest score, 92 against Lancashire. That was 2 years ago. He's got 9 50s for Derbyshire in all. And here in 2021, he scored 47 in a Derbyshire win. In comes a bouncer from Coghlan, dragged around the corner by Restandard Ward's long leg for one. Eric Bowers said 6 extras in 4 overs compared to 6 in 20 overs earlier. Yep. Mervyn says over the years he's always thought Durham found poor value from their overseas players. And he says, nothing I've seen to date has happened to make me recede from that view. Coghlan in. It's driven to point. No run there. Thank you for your valued efforts at the microphone, says Mervyn. Thanks for the email, Mervyn. It's been a format generally over the years that Durham have often struggled to get the grips with. Just 2 finals days. This is out through mid-wicket by Deploy for 1. Good over from Coghlan there, a wicket and 3 singles. 12 overs gone, 107 for 2. So Derbyshire lead by 7 in comparative terms, and they also are better off by 2 wickets as well. They need 72 more to win. Sun's now coming back out from behind the cloud, so the sunglasses are going back on. Turner back into the attack now. From the Lumley end, bowling round the wicket to Deploy. Deploy playing the ball back to the bowler. Comes in again, and now he tries to... he tries a reverse sweep, falls over, and basically heads the ball as he's rolling backwards. That wasn't pretty by any stretch of the imagination. Turner in again. This is up in the air, and it's going to land short of Liam Travaskis at long on. 1 run, though. Bright sunshine again now. Anybody fielding on the eastern side of the ground looking back towards the pavilion is going to be staring at that big orange ball. It's just above the pavilion roof. Just behind the TV screen and above it slightly. A sweep round the corner from Rees. That's gone for 4. Down to long leg. Nice shot. Next ball to Rees. Rees moves on to 49. And a 66 against Durham 6 years ago. So I score this year 57 against Brummagem and 53 against Notts. Next ball is turned towards deep mid-wicket by Deploy. End of the over. 13 gone, 7 to go. 65 to win from here. And they are 114 for 2. So they're ahead by 2 wickets and 4 runs to where Durham were after 13 overs. So 250s this year for Lewis Rees, and in all, he's had 15. So this is going to be number 16. Souter back into the attack. The ball is swept out towards deep mid-wicket. Coghlan picks it up in front of the pavilion, 1 run. Rees on 49 from 36 balls. Looks to cut. It's gone into the keeper's gloves, just outside the line of off stump. He flicks this out through mid-wicket. It's his 3rd 50 of the season in the T20 and his 16th in all. Second against Durham from memory. Comes in 38 balls, 4 fours and 2 sixes. Next shot from Deploy. Sees the ball out into the deep for 1. Souter bowling to Rees. Ball played up too long on to Travaskis. 1 run. Keeper back pedalling as it hits him in the pads as he's trying to stop the throw from Travaskis. 61 needed to win from 6.1 overs. It's 10 to 9. This is in the air and this is going to be a 6. It's gone over Pride and Corse at long off. He was right on the ropes down below my commentary position. I thought for a second he might get a hand to it, but it was just slightly too high. He leapt off the ground. And the ball hammered away by Deploy. He's on 12. Rees is on 51. 14 gone, 6 to go. 55 to win. 124 for 2. Durham were 122 for 4 at this point. New over from Turner. None for 13 from his 2 so far. That's going down the leg side and it's been thumped away with a sweep by Rees. It was drifting too far down the leg side there from Turner. Durham need wickets here. They need to stop this momentum from Derbyshire. Otherwise, Derbyshire are going to make it 3 wins in a row against them. And for Durham, it will be 3 defeats in a row this year. Notts, Leicestershire, and this one. What can they do about that in the 5.4 overs to go? Turner bowls. It's another one that's gone down the leg side, but this time Rees with a sweep finds the Lader at long leg. Previous ball was just a dot ball. .3 overs to go, 50 to win. The run rate is 8.9. The required run rate's 9.1, so it's actually increased a little bit since I last mentioned the run rate in Derbyshire's favour. They're nearly at 9 and over. Nearly where they need to be, and they've got wickets in hand, plenty of wickets in hand, 8 of them in all. Rees is on strike after a single from Duploy. Turner is bowling. Rees plays the ball out towards the deep cover area, Souter Fields, 1 run. Deploys on 13. 48 needed at 131 for 2. Turner around the wicket, bowls. Oh, and an attempted ramp shot there from Deploy. He missed the ball, nearly fell out of his crease. Robinson was standing there to the stumps with the ball in his hand saying, go on, wobble backwards, I've got you. He managed to just keep his balance. So, 131 for 2 after 15 overs. Durham were 134 for 4. So they're 2 better off runs-wise, but 2 worse off wickets-wise. 48 needed to win from 5 overs. Souter bowls, ball played to point by Rees, no run. Next ball whipped away off towards deep square leg for 1. Souter bowls, ball cut and stopped at point. A bit of cloud to the western sky, starting to go a bit orangey as the sun starts to set. Souter bowls, that's up in the air, it's sliced, this should be out. Lees is under it, he takes a head-high catch in the covers. Deploy's gone for 13. Alex Lees with the catch, backpedaling a little bit in the covers. A wicket that was very much needed, and this was the point where Durham started to lose wickets regularly, but 132 for 3, 47 more needed for Derbyshire. Just sliced that one out into the covers. Hyder Ali, the new man. So 47 needed from 4.2 overs. Hyder Ali's 22 years old, Pakistan international, 33 T20 internationals, 2 one-dayers. And in 108 T20 matches, he's got just over 2,100 runs, 12 50s. Got 74 against Yorkshire and 48 against Warwickshire this year. Souter is bowling his last 2 balls of the game, 1 for 31. Ali forward with a little nudge towards short mid-wicket. Turner's in there quickly and gets him back into his crease. 1 ball to go from Souter. 1 for 31. Ali waits for the delivery from the Finkel end. It's a bit of a quicker delivery. He cuts this one off towards the point boundary for 1. So 1 for 32 from 4 overs. from Nathan Souter. 46 to win from 4. Just a 2 off that over. That was a very good over from Souter to finish on. Coghlan to bowl his final over. 1 for 15 so far. He's kept it tight. How can he finish? Hyder Ali on strike. And the ball played down into the ground and Coghlan leaps and grabs it. Next ball played by Ali down the field. He's pulled it past the bowler down to long off for 1. Rees is on 58. He's the danger man. 45 balls he's faced. Coghlan round the wicket to him, and that's dug out of the block hole. Goes down towards fine leg for 1 run. Fielded by Parnell. Leg by signalled. Warwickshire have beaten Worcestershire in Worcester by 21 runs. It's gone down the leg side. It's a wide. The required run rate suddenly leapt to 12.3. 5 overs to go. And 48 needed. You're thinking Derbyshire's to lose 2 runs off the next over and a wicket. Suddenly it's starting to ramp up for them. Coghlan in. Where's that gone? That's gone big. That's 6. That helps. That's been pulled by Hyder Ali over deep square leg and into the pavilion seats for 6. .37 needed to win. Required rate 11.1. 3.2 overs to go. Coghlan bowls. A slower ball driven. It's away for 4. Hyder Ali saw that and he's driven it back past the bowler and down past long off for 4. 10 in 2 balls. That really helps Derbyshire. They're 146 for 3. They need 33 to win. Just over 10 and over now. 10.4 and over. Very doable in T20 terms. Coghlan is about to finish his 4 overs. 1 for 27 so far. And his return from injury. Did get a hat-trick a few years ago in a match against Northants with the final 3 balls of the Northants innings. I don't even think he realised he'd done it at the time. He was fed up with his bowling figures because he'd been nearly gone for 50 that night. Comes in and bowls, and that's cut hard, and a good diving stop by Deleda. Stops it with his left hand. It was racing. Hyder Ali really middled out towards the point boundary. Coughlan's done for the night. He'll still have a bit of fielding to do for the next 3 overs, but his 4 overs finished, and he's taken 1 for 29. Not bad going. 4 overs on his return from injury. So, 148 for 3, 31 needed. Cornell coming in now then. 3 overs left. 31 to win. 10.3 and over. Left arm bowling. It's gone down the leg side. That's a wide. Shouldn't be doing that at this stage of the game. Too far down the leg side. Cornell again, left arm over from the Finkel end. That's driven in the air. Travaskis is underneath it. Long on, a simple catch. That's the end of Rees for 58. And that is a big wicket from a Durham point of view. 30 still needed. Rees hasn't had that much of the strike in recent overs, but trying to drive Cornell to the boundary there. And he's put it straight into the hands of Liam Travaskis, who hardly had to move a muscle. 30 needed, 149 for 4. The pressure just starting to mount on Derbyshire here. Brooke Guest's not a bad batsman. He knows what he's doing. .1 overs gone. 30 to win from 2.5. Two top batsmen in this match have both got 58. Rees and Cars. Cornell, left arm round now to Guest. Thick inside edge, and it's gone past the keeper and down for 4 to effectively a backstop position. He got really lucky there. $150 up. 153 for 4, 17.2 overs. Next ball played out through mid-wicket for 1. $25 needed to win here. This is going to be, could be a really tight affair now. That last over from South to just the 2 runs in the wicket, a massive over. The 16th. Now he's on 14. Parnell coming around the wicket to bowl to him. Tries to york him. Oh, and I thought for a second he was going to get a caught and bowled. It's a low full toss. From this angle, it looked like it was just going straight back to Parnell, but actually the ball was wide of him to his right and came down to Parnell in again, bowls. It's a short one, and Guest looks to hook it, and it's played down into the ground to the keeper. Cornell in again, bowls, pulled in the air. This is out towards cow corner. Travaskis is there with a diving catch, and that is the end of Guest for 5. 155 for 5. 24 needed from 2 overs. And that was a brilliant piece of fielding from Travaskis. He's taken the last 2 catches. He was at deep mid-wicket that time. Cornell taking 2 wickets. Guest gone for 5. Derbyshire 155 for 5. They need 24. Two overs to go, 24 to win. Six runs from the partnership. Who's the new batsman? Matt McKeon. That's the leader in to bowl the penultimate over. It's a leg side full toss, which is whipped away for 4. Not what was needed. Well, what's going to happen here then, eh? Yes, this is a really nervy encounter now, and Durham trying to defend a total of 178. Have got Derbyshire 159 for 5, so there's 11 balls left. They need 20 to win, 19 to win now, because Bastilleda's just bowled a wide. He's come on to bowl the penultimate over, and the first ball was a full toss down the leg side, which went for 4, and then he's just followed that up with a wide. But we've just seen a cracking diving catch from Liam Travaskis to see off Brooke Guest for 5. Lewis Rees made 58 for Derbyshire, equaling the 58 that Bryden Carse made for Durham, and this one is going to go right down to the wire. There's just over, what we got, 1.4 overs to go, 18 runs needed for Derbyshire at 161 for 5. We've had a 4, a wide and a single there. 18 needed to win for Derbyshire from 10 balls. Cornell will bowl the final over, you think. He's taken 3 for 27 in 3 overs. Delayed a none for 18 in 1.2. He's having a lengthy discussion with Ashton Turner rather than the actual skipper. And on strike is Matt McKeon, who has yet to face a ball. Delayed right arm over from the Lumley end. That's in the air, and there's a man in the deep, and he can't get it. The diving attempt, I think, from Coghlan. Michael Jones actually long on, diving along the boundary rope, but it's gone for 4. And suddenly this looks very much back into Derbyshire's favour now. It's swung one way and then the other. The extras column, from a Durham point of view, is not the best. 11 of the runs have come in extras, 9 wides. 2 from leg bys. Delayed end, tries to York, the batsman McKiernan. He drives the ball up to mid-off, 1 run. In head-to-head terms, these sides have played each other 21 times. Durham have won 12 to Derbyshire's 9. 6 games lost to the weather. Derbyshire have won the last 2. There was a period when Durham actually won 7 in a row. And that was up until they lost in Derby in 2017. Delayed her in, and sneaky little flick round the corner there from Hyder Ali. He nearly put it straight into the hands of Bryden Carse. Fine leg on the discs, but he was having a back pedal to try and position himself. Then it was one of those difficult ones. Awkward bounce moment. And he gets a single. 1 ball left of this over. Who fancies a tie? 12 to win from 7 balls, providing there's no extra deliveries. Delader into ball to McKeon, and it's a wide. That is not what Durham need right now. That's 10 runs from wides. So still 1.1 overs to go and 11 needed. Delayed a none for 25 as he bowls the final ball of his second over. It's dug out by McKeon and down towards deep point for 1. 10 needed from the final over. So Durham are 165 for 8 after 19 overs. Derbyshire 169 for 5. 10 needed. Two batsmen have stood out in this game. Bryden Carse 58, Lewis Rees 58. 2 others got starts. Michael Jones 30 and Harry Kane 34 for Derbyshire. And then others have got the odd 20 here and there, but just the 2 batsmen who've really got hold of the ball today and got runs on the board. David Griffin, the photographer, statistician for Derbyshire, pointing out the 15th T20 half-century for Derbyshire this evening for Lewis Rees. Only Wayne Madsen has scored more half-centuries for the county. Here's Parnell to finish things off, bowling from the Finkel end. Now, this is just stupid cricket because there was no need to do what he did. He's bowled a ball to McKiernan. McKiernan's played the ball back to him. All he had to do was stand there with the ball in his hand. Instead, he decided to throw it at the stumps. It's ricocheted off the stumps, and he's given away a needless single when it should have been a dot ball. Absolutely no need to do that at all. What a gift. 9 to win from 5. Durham lose this. They've only got themselves to blame with these wides. Moments like that. Brings Hyder Ali on to strike as well. He's on 21. Could be won with 2 swings of the bat. Parnell in. Ali drags the ball out towards deep square leg for 1. He was coming back for a second, but McKiernan said no. 8 to win from 4 balls. Lydia Jane, comedy fielding at Durham tonight. It's a meme of a man with butter all over his fingers. Right, McKiernan's on 7, 171 for 5. The sun's just starting to dip behind the trees. It's 9:15, 17 minutes past 9. The cut-off for this innings to finish is 3 18 minutes past. Parnell in, and the batsman backs off and then tries to drive at a ball that's gone past the off stump. He's lying on his tummy in the end there, trying to play that one. 8 to win from 3. If Parnell can keep this tight and Durham win, then everybody will forget about the daft single at the start of the over. Got fielders out on the deep on the leg side. Got a long leg. Got a fine leg. Got a deep mid-wicket. Got long off. On the offside, everybody's in around the discs other than a sweeper on the cover boundary. Parnell round the wicket. That's driven out towards deep mid-wicket. 2 fielders there. It's cut off by Delader. They'll run 2. 6 to win from 2 balls. Well, it's been entertaining if nothing else, but who is going to get themselves across the line tonight? McKinnon's on 9. 1, 6, and it's done. Five wickets left for Derbyshire. Parnell to McKinnon, and he's dug out a Yorker. They're going to need 5 to win from the final ball. Parnell at the deck is going to be bowling to Hyder Ali. Do not bowl a wide. Do not bowl a no ball. And don't get smacked for 6. The 4, of course, would tie the game. Durham have only tied 2 matches before, against Yorkshire and against Lancashire. Here's Parnell to Ali. He bowls. Ali swings at that one, and it's away for 4, and it's a tie. It's finished in a tie. Parnell looks rather forlorn. Ali thinks he's won the game. Durham seem to think they may have lost it, but we said what were the odds of a tie earlier on? It's finished in a tie. 178 for 5 against 178. I don't think a lot of people realise that actually that's finished in a tie there. The atmosphere out there gives the impression Durham Field have lost that one. Well, that over from Souter, the 2 runs off it and the wicket was a real turning point, but then the wides came into it. Too many wides, 10 wides. The extras not helping Durham there. But that's just the 3rd time that Durham have tied a game. And for Derbyshire, I'm just wondering how many times they've tied matches. That's their 3rd tie as well. Well, it was dramatic. So Derbyshire tied with Lancashire in 2011 and Notts in 2021, both games in Derby. Durham tied against Yorkshire at Headingley when they needed 7 to win. Could have ran 2 off the penultimate ball. Gareth Breeze said no, just 1. Liam Plunkett said to him, why have you done that? Breeze then realised what he'd done and hit the final ball for 6 to tie the game. And the match finished here in a tie against Lancashire as well. Right, well, I'll leave it there. Just quickly run you through the scorecard because my throat's not the best now. So McKeon and not out 10 and Hyder Ali not out 26. So 178 for 5. Bowling figures. Parnell in the end, 3 for 36. If he hadn't thrown the ball at the stumps like a silly Billy, then Durham would have won that by 1 run. Travaskis, none for 33 from 3 overs. Coughlin, 1 for 29 from 4. Parnell, 3 for 36 from 4 overs. Bowled well, really. Kept it tight towards the end there. Deleda, again the wides, 3 wides from him, 3 wides from Coughlin, a wide each from Travaskis and Parnell. Deleda, none for 26 from 2 overs. So it's 13 runs and over he went for there. Sauter, 1 for 32 from 4, and Ashton Turner bowled 3 overs and took none for 20. Right then, so next action for Durham is at Old Trafford on Sunday afternoon. A 2:30 start. I'll be on air with a build-up from 2:15, and we'll see you then. Thanks very much for joining me tonight. Remember, reaction tomorrow morning on BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Radio T. See you then. Bye.